started today by speaking about the distinction between the entertainment business and the business of entertainment. So I just wondered if you could tell us about that. So that we,
yeah, well, and the business of entertainment, you know, people often forget that it is actually a business that is here to make money. And I think even some of that today we saw in the conversation, where people sort of, particularly in today's world, assume this inalienable right to entertainment, which is their businesses like every other. The industry doesn't often work together. Sometimes it does, and we've actually represented a number of instances, whether through the MPAA or the Recording Academy, sort of coalitions, or some digital rights management groups that we've also represented, coalitions where the industry has had to work together. But they're also fierce competitors. And research into entertainment is quite commonplace. Research into the entertainment business is quite rare. And so people, I find that the two markets most interested and most hungry for this information is probably, not unsurprisingly, Los Angeles, but London too, of course. And you know, entertainment is something that people always like to talk about. And when you have hard data to back up some of these findings, it makes it particularly interesting and worthwhile.
Sure. And actually, on hard data, I think this year social media still doesn't really exist as an entertainment form, which is quite interesting. Is that right?
Well, it's not. People don't consider it as top of mind when thinking about entertainment brands. So what we did last year, we did something for the first time, and it actually went over extremely well. So we did it again this year, and we asked, if we're asking all these questions about the entertainment sector, we decided to also ask, when you think of a brand and being in the business of entertainment, what brands come to mind? And the answers that we get are always, you know, surprising, expected, and quite debatable. And people are always intrigued by the types of content creators and generators that come up in that list. And I said content generators because primarily that is who comes up. But to your point, there is no social media. That people are not necessarily thinking of social media as an entertainment per se. There's very little, you know, there's not also a lot of websites in which you would download content, one or two. And different countries consider different brands, obviously, as being in the business of entertainment. In the UK, it's much more UK focused. In the US, it's much more global brand representation. And then we sort of break it down from there. But some names you would be quite surprised to see, and some names you would probably expect. And some are quite traditional in nature as well.
Just on the data then as well, I mean, the last year, economy-wise, has been quite troublesome. And I just wondered if compared to last year's research and this year's research, if we're seeing any kind of shift in consumer perception of trust.
Well, you know, it's interesting because this year we always ask a question related to spending, but probably this year more than ever, and we asked two. So one, we asked about entertainment spending, and in the UK, 66%, and in the US it was 50-something% of people say they intend to spend the same or more on entertainment. And what we saw, which was really interesting, and a lot of our clients obviously gravitated toward, is who makes up those spenders. And who makes up those spenders are actually people who have trust in the entertainment industry. So it's actually interesting that for the first time we're able to come up with a direct correlation between trust and purchasing habits, particularly in the business of entertainment. The same is true for those with less trust in the entertainment. Less trust, 33% in the UK. Those who have less trust in the entertainment say they're going to be spending less, the same or less, on entertainment. And that was an interesting takeaway. The other thing having to do with cost that we discovered was when we asked people for their primary considerations when it comes to purchasing entertainment, probably not a surprise, particularly this year, that cost came out on top. But what was equally as surprising was a relatively close second was quality. And I think given this year, we thought the space between the two would be much more vast, and it wasn't, which shows that people still consider quality as a very close factor to cost. What didn't come up are things that we hear a lot of companies putting forth today, whether it's, you know, ability to make a copy, how many times I can, you know, watch it with, share it with my friend, and so on. Those issues did not come up as much as cost and quality.